So my name is Scott Cato, and I'm pastor at Slater Baptist Church in Slater, South Carolina, and it is my joy to share with you what God's doing in our congregation. So on August 24th of last year, I preached my first sermon at Slater Baptist Church, and there were 14 people there. They were a church of people who had been praying for a long time for God to do a work in their community, and we came in ready to see that work happen and plant seeds for discipleship that empowered the church to do the work of service. And so to date, we have seen nearly 400% growth from that point. We have begun the process of reaching our community with the gospel and then moving out past that. So I want to narrow what God is doing, kind of three areas that we can really see what God is doing here. And first is that God is creating connections. We have tried to be intentional to love our community. We've established relationships with the local community center, with a group called Foothills Family Resources there in Slater, and with the elementary school, and then also internships at North Greenville University. Several aspiring ministerial students coming in and serving to help do the work of ministry in the community, gaining experience to prepare them for ministry. So those connections are being created. We are a church in revitalization, but really if you were to come to Slater, Slater is a community in revitalization. There's a lot of great things happening there, a lot of people who are pouring their lives out to see this little community transformed, and it's starting to happen. So there are connections being created. Second, partnerships are being established. God is establishing partnerships. We have the joy of being served really well by a couple of places. The Three Rivers Baptist Association is key in that. We've had so much support from the association that we're so very, very grateful for in multiple different ways. The church at Cherrydale has been integral in praying for and supporting us and my family personally, and we're so grateful for that. And then the South Carolina Baptist Convention has come alongside as well. And then finally, we're learning to think really globally. We now support 5 missionaries all around the world from Slater Baptist Church. We pray for them. Our Women's Missionary Union has been a critical part of what we're doing. They have a heart for helping the church to think globally, and they do that really well. And so we're seeing all these things happen, and as that's happening, what is ending up happening as a result is life change. People are being transformed by the gospel, either folks coming to Christ. As I'm recording this message, we are preparing to celebrate the first baptism in our church in a very, very long time. We're seeing people saved by the grace of God through the gospel. We are seeing people grow in their love for Christ, and families come back together and be restored. We're seeing people freed from addiction. All this happening in this little church.